Everyone, welcome to the Out of the Mud podcast, powered by the Music Hype Beast and syndicated over Power 102.8 LA. Now, the Out of the Mud podcast platform illuminates compelling personal stories of some of the brightest and innovative minds within Generation Z music culture. And tonight, I have the incredible opportunity to interview the one and only Braylon J, a talented recording artist and entrepreneur. And my name is Derrick T and I'm your host tonight. And make sure you follow me at the real DT Lou on Instagram. And now that I'm proud to introduce recording artist Braylon J to the podcast. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, and I've just been working on my craft lately.
Good, man. I'm glad to hear that for sure. Now, right off the bat, talk about your background as far as where you grew up. How was life? With parents and things of that nature, childhood, and the whole 9 yards. Talk about that for a little bit.
Okay, well, I was born in Omaha, Nebraska. A lot of people, when they think of Nebraska, they think of cornfields. That's not the case. Like growing up, I often traveled through either Colorado or New York. I grew up around New York or Chicago sometimes, but I was born in Omaha, Nebraska. And growing up, I often the reason I started making music is because I was going through a lot of struggles, and I used the music as like an outlet to get through those struggles.
Right.
And so as growing up, I only grew up with my mother. So, yeah.
Okay. But just to let you know, when I think of Nebraska, I think of the football team, the University of Nebraska. And I have a couple of friends out there in Nebraska. She said basically when football season comes around, it's football or nothing. So I heard nothing but good vibes out there in Nebraska. So break down to the audience in regards to the vibe that you had growing up in regards to the person that you were, whether it was sports and that type of thing.
Well, I didn't really do sports growing up, but I did about one sport, about track and field. I did it. I ran for this track team called Peak Performance.
Okay.
And but I didn't really do sports because a lot of times I was also hanging around the wrong crowd and doing what I didn't need to be doing.
Totally understand that. All right. So what were some of those things that did make you happy and grateful during that time?
Really, it was really just music. As I said, my mom, she used to direct in the choir at church, and
okay.
I like singing, so I got into singing. When middle school came around, I wanted to rap, so I just started using that as a coping mechanism because I wasn't put in therapy for the things that I needed.
Okay. Now, who was one of your childhood friends and I know you said that there was the wrong crowd, but on the flip side, who was one of your childhood friends that really impacted your youth in a positive way?
Long live my brother, but he's not my real brother, but I consider him as a brother. His name was Calvin, JoJo, and he was there for me a lot. He also liked music, piano, so that's another reason why I kept going with music, because he inspired me in many ways.
You talked about, as far as your connection with music. Let's talk about the mental connection to it.
Okay.
How does it make you feel, and what does it have down for your life?
Well, it makes me feel like, I have a calming feeling when I record, Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm either angry or depressed. I get to hop on the mic and it just makes me feel better altogether.
Right. Now, what responsibility do you believe, just you, Braylon, what responsibility do you believe that you owe to music?
Well, that's a good question. I'm trying to think on that right now. You said the responsibility I owe to music?
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's all about, when I first got into it, it was just about a hobby. But as I'm growing in the music industry, I think it's all about, being consistent and the business side of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one thing.
Okay. Now, explain your sound, right? So let's talk about who it relates to and what has been the responses from the people out in Nebraska in regards to hearing Braylon J's music.
Well, I say my sound, at first it was trap music, but I got into more of R&B. And a lot of people compare me to Givon. I don't know if you heard of him. He made Heartbreak Anniversary. Okay. And sometimes I just do not R&B and just talk on struggles in my life or just around me. People will compare me to Polo G. So.
All right. Now, what or who motivates you to pursue a career in music?
Well, at first, like I said, my God rest his soul, my brother Calvin and my mother, as right now, is
Okay.
motivating me.
Now, spell out your artist name as it is on all the music streaming sites like Apple Music, Spotify, and Tidal so people can lock in with you. And also spell out your Instagram handle nice and loud so people can follow you on there.
Okay. It's spelled, my music name on all platforms is spread Braylon J Music, Braylon J, capital J, Music. And then for my Instagram, it's official underscore Braylon J, OFFICIAL _ Braylon J, lowercase b, Braylon J.
Okay. Now, what have you enjoyed most about being on the Out of the Mud podcast today?
Well, I enjoy talking to you. It's a very cool experience because honestly, this is my first interview, so I didn't know what to expect happening on this interview. But I'm glad I'm on here.
Appreciate you having you on, man. So we want to thank everybody for rocking with us tonight on the Out of the Mud podcast, brought, again, powered by iHeartRadio and syndicated on Power 102.8 LA. And make sure you follow me on Instagram, as I stated earlier, at the real DT Lou, and I follow you right back. And also follow the movement on Instagram at Radio Pushers, at Radio Pushers TV, and at the Music Hype Beast. Always bet on yourself and always dream, hustle, and win. Peace out. See you next time.